Now I see it, the vision realized. I definitely had I have an interesting story that I think will be a benefit and a motivation to many of you, especially those of you who have a passion or who have a vision for something in your life that you want to see realized. If by show of hand, how many of you all paint? You paint? Anybody else paint? Well, I don't paint. However, I am going to paint a picture for you that you will not soon forget. If you can imagine being a mom with a baby that you're breastfeeding, having 1-year-old twins that you're potty training, having a 4-year-old rambunctious son that is enjoying flipping around every couple of steps, and then also envision having 14 teenagers living in your house with your 4 children that are 4 and under. Wow. I see a look on your face of like, what? That was my life. That was my life. 4 children, 4 and under, breastfeeding, potty training twins, 4-year-old, and 14 teenagers living in our home. That's a wow. That's a wow. That's why I said, let me paint a picture you will not soon forget. In that moment of having so many children, to give you a little background, my husband and I, we've been married 22 years now. Thank you. And which really, I've been married half my life now. So that 22 years of marriage, 16 of those years, my husband and I took care of children. Lots and lots of children. And so with our passion for the community and our passion for children, this invention called GoGoVie was birthed. And how this vision was birthed is out of a need. They say that invention usually is birthed out of need. Someone needed something that did not exist. So that was my story. We were in a moment of need. I was at home alone. My husband was at work, and I'm feeding my baby, who would only breastfeed in the cradle position, a fully reclined cradle. And of course, you're breastfeeding at least, once every 2 hours minimum, sometimes 30 minutes per feeding, sometimes more. And in this moment of need, the twins had to potty. And of course, being twins, they have to potty at the same time, not one at a time. So I'm feeding the baby, and the twins say, we got to potty, we got to potty. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm feeding the baby. They couldn't move. They had to go in that moment because they were 1, and of course, they wait until the last moment. So I had a dilemma. I could not get the baby to let go. She would pinch her lips down like, I'm eating. I'm not letting you break this latch so you can take care of them because I'm eating. And the twins could not move. I didn't choose to do pull-ups now. So of course, if I didn't get them to the potty, we would have had a mess. So in that moment of need, I realized I have no option. I have to get them to the potty somehow on time, not to have them have a mess here. And so I held the baby, embraced her with one arm, used my free hand to scoop up each of the twins, run them to the potty, and get them situated. And when I got them situated in time, I actually was, of course, sweating. Now you can imagine all of this with one baby in an arm and handling twins and getting them to the potty with the other arm. And when I stood up, I actually saw a vision in front of me, a literal vision of a baby carrier that kept the baby in this fully reclined cradle position for breastfeeding. It had privacy built in because remember, we had 14 teenage boys that were not my birth children living in our home. So I did need a little privacy when breastfeeding. And then I had both hands free. That's what I saw. So of course in that moment, you know what I did? Oh my gosh, let me go to the store and buy this. I need this. When I went to the store, it was not there. Then of course I go to the internet and I'm Googling a baby carrier that you can carry in a fully reclined position. It didn't exist. So then I get frustrated. Like, wait a minute, I know what I saw and now I can't find this thing. So I went store to store, continued to search and realized it did not exist. So in that moment, of course, I had a family member tell me, you know what you saw, it doesn't exist because you're the one who have to create it. And it may sound all exciting and all of that, but when you have 18 children at home, breastfeeding and potty training, are you interested in inventing anything? I didn't think so. No, that was not exciting to me. What it was overwhelming. I felt that there is no way I can take on anything else. My plate is full. So what I did decide to do, I said, okay, if I've been given a vision, I'll make a deal. So you know how sometimes we make deals with God, right? I said, you know what, if you gave this vision, I have to sit it on the shelf until the baby is at least in preschool, because that'll give me 2.5 hours each day to myself. Now, mind you, I had not been home alone in my own home for, I think, about 11 years. Not one time was I in my home by myself for the past 11 years. It was always children, adults, someone was always home. So I said, when this baby goes to preschool, it'll be my first time having 2.5 hours in the home alone. And if this product is not on the market, I'll start working on it. So sure enough, she turns 3 and it comes right back to my remembrance. Don't forget, you said that when she goes to preschool, you'll start on this if it's not on the market. So of course I do my due diligence, it's not on the market. And I said, okay, well, I gotta hold up my end of the bargain. So then I decide, okay, I don't know where to start because I want to throw a little tidbit in there. I can't draw and I can't sew. It was all up here. So it took me some time working with seamstresses and trying to find someone who could assist me with getting what I had up here to reality. So I did have someone who could sew by description only, and we worked and worked diligently, and I've gone through easily 3 seamstresses trying to figure out how to bring this vision to reality. And it actually took, believe it or not, 8 years to the month. I had the vision written down when my baby went to preschool, January of 2016, and January of 2008, I wrote it down. 2016 in January is when I actually made my first sale. So it was 8 years to the month before I was able to have a viable, sellable product. So what we have now is called GoGoVie. It actually was Nursing Go initially, and last year I exhibited here at the ABC Expo under the name Nursing Go is now GoGoVie. And the reason being is because I realized quickly that to market my product under one name of one feature, being able to breastfeed on the go, was not necessarily the best idea, because the carrier actually is a carrier. So you don't have to breastfeed to use GoGoVie. And I realized I needed to get out of that niche market of just a breastfeeding baby carrier and turn that into a carrier. And GoGoVie is the new name because GoGo means active and V is French for lifestyle. And what my brand really embodies is for that person who has an active lifestyle and wants to still have baby in tow, whether breastfeeding or carrying or just snuggling. Your baby is with you and you can still stay active. So that's why the name was changed to GoGoVie, and we're here this year as just GoGoVie. So I'm really excited about that, and I just wanted to take a moment to really encourage each and every one of you who have taken time to spend with me today to know that any vision or passion that you have, it's worth pursuing. It is worth pursuing. If that vision was dropped in your spirit, it was dropped in there for a reason, and you are the unique individual that can see it to pass, not someone else. It's for you. I sat on that vision 3 years and no one brought it to market. And now GoGoVie is the first hybrid sling and soft structure carrier in the United States. GoGoVie is the only carrier with 7 unique carrying positions. And who knew after all of that due diligence that I would be the first Black woman to create and manufacture a baby carrier in the US. So thank you. So it's just amazing to look back and realize how amazing it is when you follow your passion and you pursue those passions with diligence. It's not easy. It was an 8-year stint. 8 years. And 8 years seems like a really long time, but when you're passionate about something, you're not willing to let it go until you see that vision realized. You can't rest with the what if. What could have happened had I pursued it? What could have happened had I seen it through to the end? What could it have been had I really pushed that little bit extra? How great could it have been? I would have never known that I would be the first in 3 categories had I not continued to push. Had I not said, you know what, 18 children is not too much to pursue my passions. It's not. You know, we especially as women, those of you who are here, you know that we have an energy reserve, so to speak. We have energy to do what we have to do, but we have that little reserve somewhere in us that when it's something that we really want to do, or if it's something we're passionate about, we find that extra time to really to invest in ourselves. Because as women, if we are not nurtured, if we are not full, if our tank isn't full, we have nothing to give our families. Because when we're depleted, trust me, they know it. They know it. In your personal life, your family knows it. In your professional life, your co-workers or your superiors or your subordinates, they know when you are on empty. They know it. They feel the effects of you being stretched beyond what you can handle. But if it's a passion of yours, you find that reserve because it's just in the fiber of your being. You need to release that energy in order to be your authentic self. So I encourage any and every one of you to find that passion, that one thing that burns in you that you would do even if it were for free. Even if it were nothing that was going to ever return on your investment in a financial way. But you know it's burning in you, and if you don't release that, you won't be your true self. That's that one thing that I would encourage you to dig deep, find that, because you'll feel a fulfillment you would never feel if you let it go to the wayside and die with regrets. I think that's one of my biggest fears, is leaving this earth with a what if or what could have happened had I, ... I don't want to leave this planet that way. I want to leave here empty, knowing that all of the gifts, all of the talent, all of the energy that was instilled in me, that I've maximized that. And if I've maximized that, then I know that I've served my purpose here on this earth, and I can leave here with peace. So definitely encouraging you all in that way to definitely pursue your passions and to leave here empty and not full of what ifs. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate you. If anyone has any questions about my journey, I'm always an open book. I love to share. As you can see, I love to talk. So if there's anything, I'd be very happy. I'm in booth P428. Right about kitty corner from where I'm standing right now. You can definitely learn more about GoGoVie, and tomorrow at 3 p.m. I will be speaking more on the product itself, how it functions, what sets it apart, what makes it an innovative design, and its simplicity. And so definitely come back and see me tomorrow at 3 if you have time.